I personally believe that you can actually find beauty in everything you see. It just depends on what you choose to see. There was this pressure that we need to look a certain way in school. They will actually call your name out to tell you like who are the girls who are overweight in front of the whole school. On top of that, the teachers who were in charge, they were not exceptionally kind with their words also when they address us. So I think it's the root started from there. I remember with the seniors, there was once that when I walked past, they said here comes the fat and then the B word, and then they started barking like that. But this is the first time you are hearing someone call you something that is, you know, it's not a very nice word, you know. Yeah, so it was very hurting at the time. I remember that I always felt very ugly, and on the surface I will act like nothing, you know, but then there will be like those bad days where I just like cannot and I just crash. It actually dragged on for years until to the point when I think I was about 17 or 18 that I was actually hospitalized for it. And then I saw my mom cry. That was what sort of caused me to want to change. And that was when I decided I'm going to do this. I mean, take the first step because I don't want to disappoint my mom anymore. I didn't throw up anymore, and then I started to put on weight gradually, and then I got a bit scared. So that was when I told my mom, okay, I'm going to join the gym, and then she signed me up. And then that was how I actually started my fitness journey. At that time, I was already quite fit actually because I've been training. But I will actually go on diets that I feel right now when I look back, they were not very realistic. You know, being on a very deprived mode, right, it actually sort of triggered episodes where I actually binge eat, and also there were periods where I eat my emotions, like if I'm unhappy or if I'm angry at something or angry at myself, I will actually plan a binge in my head. I'll tell myself, okay, later on the way home I'll go to the supermarket, I'm going to buy this, and then I'll go home, and if there's nobody at home, I'll actually eat everything, and I'm not even enjoying the food actually, I'm just eating like mindlessly. Of course, after that I'll be very remorseful, I'll regret, and then I'll hate myself even more, right? Then I'll tell myself, okay, tomorrow I won't do it anymore, tomorrow I'll start all over again. But very often, right, this tomorrow never comes. I tried so many times to stop it, and I keep saying no, I cannot do it. I think it came to a point where I got very sick and tired of, you know, of doing this. I told God, no, I cannot do this anymore. I'm just gonna let go, and I'm not even gonna try. Okay, so you're just gonna take over, and then I'm just gonna see, you know, how things goes. I noticed that this desire, right, to binge and to starve myself went away over time. Now when I go out on my cheat days or when I compete after my competition, I can go out and enjoy my friends. I would not like starve myself like I used to anymore. I've learned to like enjoy food as it is, not for, you know, for any other reasons. I was 25 and I appeared on the Straits Times hot boards, right? So some Singaporean man actually bothered to cut out my paper from the newspaper and scanned it in the computer, and they put it to like some forum. So they said like, oh, she looks like a she-man, and they said that I will only use her for, you know, BJ. Yeah, I'm like, of course, when I saw, now that I think of it, I'm like, please, like, you wish, right? But at that time, I cried, you know, when I read the comment, I cried. I'm like, why are people so mean that they will actually make the effort to cut out and scan in, you know, and just to criticize. Even women, they think that I would, because a person looks strong or muscular, they think that they are violent, which I think is really quite ridiculous. It's like, oh, she'll beat me up, I don't want, you know. It does irritate me because that's not my personality. They have been very supportive, even though my dad doesn't say. I think he's like quite proud of me because he will always like tell me, hey, that was my daughter. Which is quite funny. Yeah, but because Asian parents, they don't express themselves so well, but based on their actions, little things that they do for me shows that they are, you know, they are for me, yeah, in whatever choices that I make in my life. Yeah. This is my choice, and it wasn't easy you know, this whole journey was never easy, and if it was something, if people's words can so easily like sway me, I would have stopped like years ago. I won't even continue. Maybe what I went through wasn't fun, but I also believe that God won't give you anything that you cannot handle. If I had to go through the same thing, I would, because it made me who I am today.